Choose your sacrifice. Jordan Peterson puts it very well. You have to choose your sacrifice. You cannot be good in everything. No one is. Some of the best businessmen in this world are horrible family men. Choose your sacrifice. Choose that one thing you're willing to be known for, you're willing to give everything for. Everything we are in life starts with desire. And after desire is the persistence to go after that thing we desire more than any other thing. You get it? More than any other thing. You can't have everything. No one can. You can't be good in every single thing. Some of the best basketballers can't play football. Some of the best footballers can't play basketball. So choose your sacrifice. Choose that one thing you're willing to give every other thing for. Have a strong desire. Don't have a weak desire. Weak desire brings weak goal. Become that person that's known for one thing, that will sacrifice every other thing for the attainment of one thing. And if you look at it that way, then life's become a lot easier. When you are willing to sacrifice every other thing for one thing, life becomes a lot easier. The problem is some of us want to achieve without sacrificing. We want to have without giving. Everyone focuses on the taking. But choosing your sacrifice is asking yourself that question: what is it I'm willing to give? Am I willing to give 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day? Am I willing to read? Am I willing to study? Am I willing to go back to school? What is it am I willing to do? Am I willing to wake up early and go for a run, for training? What is it I'm willing to do to become the best in what I choose? Having scattergun approach will never get you anywhere. Having dissipated energy will never get you anywhere. It's like the sun. When you concentrate the rays of the sun into one beam, it could burn anything. But when it's scattered around, it has less power. Like when you put a bunch of sticks together, they become very difficult to break. But you can easily break one twig on its own. That's the same discipline, that's the same attitude, that's the same desire we need when we want to go after something. Choose your sacrifice. Choose that single thing, that one thing that you are willing to give every other thing for. Regardless of what people say, regardless, this is me. If I fail, I will keep trying again till I succeed in this one field. Every other field, I'm just gonna let it go. That will not be me. I don't want to be known for this other field, but this one I will give everything for. If you are one of those who are able to do that, you will succeed. Why? Because you have a strong desire and then you have persistence behind it. Desire without persistence is nothing. When you desire something, you have to go after it over and over again. They say Edison failed 10,000 times. Can you imagine that? 10,000 times not achieving something. And how many of you are giving up after 1 or 2 or 3 goals? Imagine repeating something 10,000 times. That would drive you insane. That would make a lot of people give up their life. That would put you into depression. But that's what it's all about. Because the thing about sacrifice, the things about discipline, things about desire is like once you can achieve one, now you know you can move to the next step. But if you give in every time you hit an obstacle, every time things become hard, you never growing, you're never learning, you're never training yourself, you become weak. A weak fire can only make a weak spark. A weak spark will only make a weak fire. You need that strong desire, that strong goal, that strong will, that strong leadership in you that's saying, look, this is what I've chosen. This would become my discipline. Above every other thing, I would give everything to achieve this. Most people get rejection every single day, but they dust themselves up and start again the next day. That is purpose. That is winning. That is centering their focus on one thing. One thing. We all don't need to be super in everything. We have a lot of superstars we congratulate and say, wow, for just one thing. They're very good in what they do and they're known for that. So don't become that person who wants to involve in every new venture that comes your way. Pick one and concentrate on that. Pick one and become the best in that. Pick one and discipline yourself to stay in that, because it becomes a lot easier when you fail for you to get up, stand up and go again. Why? You have your field, you have your goal, you have your direction. You're learning from the same thing. You make mistakes, you're reading and learning from the mistakes of others, but you are growing, you are advancing, you are becoming better in your field. Everyone you know, be the bankers. I met a guy the other day. He's been he's in the city. He's an investment banker, but he does equity. That's all he does. He's been doing that for 10, 15 years. Just one. There are like so many other departments he could go, but he's stuck to one, equity, and he's the best in that. Most accountants don't become engineer. So why do you think you want to start up this, start up? No. First, become very good in one. Then you can move to the other. Even Elon Musk didn't start Tesla straight up. He started with QX, then PayPal. Develop yourself in one area, and then you can move to the next. Accomplish something first. Stop leaving everything half done and keep moving on. You will never become nothing. Focus on one thing alone. Discipline. It's called discipline. You go to school to learn an engineering, it's called discipline. Why? Because you're fulfilling that goal in place of order. You're giving up order, becoming a mathematician, architect, just to focus on one goal. So apply that same principle in your life. Choose one direction, choose one goal, choose one thing you want to become. And I tell you, failing becomes a lot easier because you're inching closer to your success, to your goal, to your desire every time you fail. You're just going to go back to the drawing board and add one or two things, and you are there. And that's what it's all about, discipline. Because without that, you just jump in hoops. Every time things are not going your way, you jump again. Every time things are not working, you jump again. But you are actually not learning from your mistakes. You are not growing. Why? Because you cannot sacrifice. You cannot hold yourself into one direction. What's meditation? Most people think meditation is just, trying to hold yourself. Meditation is all about bringing you back to one goal. When your mind is jumping around, because your mind is bound to do that. That's what it's meant to be. Keeps, making suggestions for you. Keep making easy a task for you. Bring it back to that one goal. That's what meditation is. Looking for the power of concentration to harness your mind to focus just on one thing. And a lot of people achieve a lot through meditation without even physical activity. Because if you can imagine it, you can build it. That's what it's about. Everything starts with the mind, imagination. If you can imagine it, then you can build it. If it doesn't work, you can tweak it. Because life is all about imagination. Without imagination, we are nothing. Just take a look around you. Everything you see today, from the planes to the houses to the bridges, they came from human imagination. The house you live in, the car you drive, the train you take, the flight you take to your beautiful holidays, they all came from one person's imagination, sitting and thinking, I would like this. How do I go about doing it? And then they put the power to work. So choose your sacrifice.